Oh, folks, I'm laughing and I'll explain why I'm laughing at the beginning of this video. This is my third take. Take one, my battery ran out of juice and I didn't realize it. Take two, I accidentally hit a key on the keyboard and the video came to a stop. So this is take three. Welcome to my channel, ProgHat. I'm Edward, and I'm back to do an album review and to spotlight the seventh album by The Who, released in 1975. Are you ready? I'm ready. The Who by numbers. I know, why didn't I start at the beginning of The Who discography? I don't know, maybe I'm just weird like that. Maybe I'm just like randomly think, you know what, I want to talk about The Who by numbers because it gets played a lot on my turntable and on my CD player. I have it also on compact disc. Folks, I just simply love this record. It has 10 great rock and roll, gorgeous songs on it from beginning to end. And I feel like this record, all the songs should be played on the radio. And they probably did at one time. I don't know. But I still love the music on this record. I love every song. I love everything the Who contribute to making these 10 solid songs from an album that could have been easily a Pete Townsend solo album. Yeah, that's right. Pete was turning, what, 30 years old? He ran into experiencing writer's block. And I'm shocked by that because I'm thinking, he's Pete Townsend. The guy wrote so many great records, songs. All the Chinese have, all the best cowboys have Chinese eyes, or something like that. Excuse me. White City, his first debut album, the album with Ronnie Lane, Rough Mix. What was that album? I'm getting a little bit hyper here and excited. Rough Boys, you know that album. Empty Glass. I'm sorry. I keep calling that album Rough Boys, but anyway. But before I get into this video, I will be looking at my notes, going to them, because I'm going to go through each song, and I'm trying not to make this video long, trying not to touch anything, to do a fourth take. We'll be using this book, who I want to give a shout out to, Steve over at All the World's a Stage. He showed this series of books, and the first two that I got had to get one on The Who. And the other one was Jeff Otto. And the writer of this book, this young man here, Jeffrey Feeks, author and music journalist. He also did one on the Moody Blues, and I will definitely get that one when I get a chance. But he's also written Dutch progressive rock page since 2005. Wow. His first Who concert was in December 1973. So I'll be going to this book too. So please hang in there. Maybe get you some popcorn and one of your favorite drinks. Sit back, and I will try to stay focused, because sometimes I get excited about talking about my favorite records. And this is one of them, Who by Numbers. So I hope you will enjoy. I wore a white t-shirt. I wanted to match something close to this album cover. I don't have a Who by Numbers t-shirt, but maybe there's one out there. As we all know, artwork done by John Entwistle, and I like it like this. Now, I have seen where people did take their marker or their pen and connect it. I prefer it this way. Not that that was bad or anything, or they did something wrong, but still, here they are, the 10 great songs. I just simply love that side one ends with a masterpiece. One of Daltrey's signature vocals on Imagine a Man. Oh my goodness, that song's mind-blowing to me. I love it. So I'll be using this book and reading from it from time to time. I don't want to touch anything because I don't want to do, what am I up to? A third take now already. So like I said, Some came out in 1975. A few other things I want to mention before this I have a memory. Yes, when I was young, as the animals say, when I was young. Um, my mom, hardworking woman, angel from heaven, looking down on me, even to this day. She bought me 2 Who cassettes for my birthday. She said, go in there and pick you out 2 albums you want for your birthday. And at that time I was buying cassettes. I was hooked on them, and I was starting to collect my Who collection on cassettes. I bought Who by Numbers, Live at Leeds. What was really interesting, and back then those MCA, when they would release those albums on cassettes from their artists, they would always have that blue, but then a real small picture of the album. And I remember how the Who Live at Leeds didn't look like that brown cover. The cassette that I owned cover, it was white. So I had them both side by side, Who by Numbers, and that when I would listen to those 2 cassettes, they were like that displayed, and I don't know, it just kind of made it felt like I'm hearing something live, you know. Oops, I almost did it again, folks. But anyway, getting back to this, my review, I am gonna go through this. I am gonna go through the songs probably kind of quickly. I don't want to make this video too long, but I don't want to forget to say things either too. 10 songs, I love every one of them. I still play this record to this day. I even have it on compact disc. The songs do have a feel of bitterness, sadness, no hope. But there is hope, folks. There are people who love us that will just love to give us either a handshake or a great big hug. And I will say this, depression led to some of the making of these great songs. And depression is real, folks. Reach out to those folks. If you're experiencing that, reach out to the folks who love you. And in some way, even to this day, as I'm 55 years old, I can still relate to these songs. Oh yeah, you say maybe? Which one? Well, how about How Many Friends? I love that song. I can count them on one hand, as the lyrics say, right? As you get older, you kind of see who may hang around, who may be a fair weather friend. You know, they come and go. That's just the way people are, human nature. It's the way it happens. I can't explain it all. As I say, 10 songs, gorgeous rock songs. Like when I was reading about this time of making of this record, Townsend was experiencing writer's block. I was like, really? White City? All the best cowboys have Chinese eyes? Empty glass? His first, I forget the name of his first solo album. Writer's block? I just kind of find that hard to believe. That these guys like Paul Simon, Pete Townsend, Lennon, McCartney, writer's block. They wrote some of the best rock songs, and we're still buying them and listening to this day. He was going through a crisis of confidence. Critics, you know how people say things. That little bitty thing in our mouth that goes up and down can be a sword that can really cut people to the soul. People, you know, Townsend was turning 30 years old. And folks, I guess, were saying like, you know, you're just an old rock and roller. Should you still be playing rock and roll? And I said, yes. And I'll say it, hell yes. You know, I guess it put him in an emotional state. Did I mention that the album was produced by Glenn Johns? And I like what he did. I like that he stuck to his guns and insisted the song Blue, Red, and Gray should be on the album. Townsend didn't want that song on the album for a personal reason. The beautiful, elegant piano playing of Nicky Hopkins. Yeah, he's on this album. And when you hear his piano playing on whatever song that he puts his touch on, Nicky Hopkins, it's memorable. It's in your memory. You're going to always have some memory about it, something about your past, something about someone you love or miss or knew, or a place you were at, or maybe the first time you heard him play that piano part. Now this record right here I love everything music on it. I mean, it is very well done, these songs, very crafted, and the way the songs sound. That it's one of my albums that whenever, I do write, and I'm not much into writing songs that much. Every once in a while I'll write a poem or one from my sweetheart, or play something on my guitar but this record right here is what I want to get to, and Who by Numbers is an inspirational record to me. Yeah, I'll go to it. Just like this album, Magical Mystery Tour, Fragile, pieces of Beethoven music, Dark Side of the Moon, Metal, Pink Floyd, what else is there? Caravan's first self-titled album. Yeah, those records, I resonate with them. I love those albums. And around this same time, I saw this album once. Roger Daltrey was also on another project, which turned out to be this Listomania or something like that. I think it's a movie too. I've seen that album once, but I've never listened to it. And if there is a movie, folks, correct me. Let me know if there is or there isn't. Appreciate your comments. I've never seen it, but now when reading about it, because of the Who by Numbers album, I want to see it. I want to watch it and listen to it now. But Daltrey, was on that project, and it just interested me that musicians like that can just be on so many projects and still deliver the goods and bring their A game to everything they do and everything they record. That makes sense. Now I do want to share a picture on here. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because this is the first time I remember as a youngster seeing the Who. It was on a videotape that I rented of I guess it was like the Ready Steady Go TV show. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit of a while here, but here it is. This right here said to me as a youngster, Edward, this is your band. This is the band that is speaking your music for you. Yeah, 1966, The Who, appearing in Hyde Park in the summer. Isn't that interesting? Everything that I've been talking about, summer, heat, there's connections. Yeah, this all connects. The Kids Are Alright, shot at Hyde Park. Love that. I take it was a promo video. Okay. People, when this album came out, they saw it as an introspective offering from the Who. I don't think a lot of people really, as far as critics, critics, there's one everywhere. My neighbors can be a critic about the way I mow my grass. All right. Anyway, so I still haven't got the realness about what people thought about when this record came out. It was one of their low charting albums in both the US and the UK, which shocks me. I think it's a top 10 album, and these 10 songs can back that up. They don't need me talking about it. That whole record can back it up itself. Another thing that's interesting in here, I didn't realize, that Pete Townsend plays a lot of instruments on here. Accordion, banjo, ukulele, guitar, acoustic guitar. He sings, he writes. He does a lot of stuff, and it's very incredible to me. He's one of these guys, from what I understand, that can pick up an instrument and learn how to play it and then incorporate it somehow into his music, which I think is totally awesome. Out of these songs, they're a very heavy duty. I remember when I was listening to it that I'm like, I'm hearing something here that almost sounds personal. And it is. This was when I was young, and I said, the music is awesome, but these lyrics are deep, deep, deep. And out of that, Townsend, you know, had problems with drinking. I can't speak for Mr. Townsend, but, you know, a lot of us can have some kind of a problem that we, you know, either drinking, drugs, depression, all those things that we can get secluded about, even emotional eating, you know, separate ourselves. Folks, come out of that, come out of those things, you know. Go to get help. I encourage it. I'm not here to be a sponsor about anything. Let me get back to this. I'm telling you, I get all like, I can go into different directions, and that's what this record is. It talks a lot about social things too, you know, and just I think that's what makes this album a solid rock album that I love so much. Let's talk about the first song on the album, Slip Kid, which, from what I read in here, it is a song that is Townsend imparting his wisdom to would-be rock and rollers, warning them of the dangers of the music business. Wow. The song was left over from the Lifehouse. So I'm curious when that Who's Next, the Lifehouse demos and all that, which I'm planning to get. Hopefully I can get that, and I'm going to trade for it. That there's a demo of it on there, or going to be on there, so I'm hoping that it is. Another thing about that song is that Keith Moon, John Entwistle give this groove, this shuffle groove that provides a solid bass for the piano playing of Nicky Hopkins in it. And I agree with that. It's so epic, you know, and then Townsend coming across it all with that pick going across the strings, that just gives me a chill when I hear that song. Slip Kid, I tell you, I can't say which song personally are the best from, you know, ranking. I love all 10 songs equally. They get 10 stars. They're just beautiful songs. Apparently there's an edit take of Slip Kid released as a single in North America, which came out in '76, and I hope to find that one day. Also, on the 50th anniversary of the Who Hits 50 tour, it is also included on that compilation album. It should be. I think it's on Hooligans. I don't know. I haven't owned Hooligans in a while, but now I want it back in the collection. Let's go on to the emotional song of However Much I Booze. Oh man, just a beautiful song. For one thing I can say about it, there seems to be also well, it doesn't seem to be, there is a longer demo version on Scoop 3, which I don't own, which I used to think that Scoop 3 didn't really exist. I guess I made it sort of like, is that a Mystic album? Is it real? Is there a Scoop 3 buried somewhere that I can go dig up? Yes, I believe Christian at CGC Vinyl has it. That's awesome. The album deals with Townsend's alcohol dependency. And the song suggests that his excessive drinking is a result of the weight and responsibility he carries within the band. Hold your head up. Isn't that what Arjun said? Man, some of the times we can get burdened down, and this song has it. But it's magical, this song. It is. I don't expect you to understand why I say the things I'm saying. This is how I feel about when I hear these songs. You know, 10 songs that are just, they're just so good. And I believe the song became the B-side of the Slip Kid. Let's go on to what is next here. I skipped one. I'm sorry, folks. I kind of went out of sync. Let's talk about Squeeze Box. She wears on her chest, and when Daddy gets home, she gets no rest. My mom didn't like that song, and I can understand why. Rest in peace, Mom. So whenever I played that, I had to hear it with headphones. But it's a good rock song. Squeeze Box. I love the way the Who does that country vibe to it, and that nice banjo, that epic electric guitar playing, that all that finger picking. It's just great song. I love the vocal delivery. Let me tell you something. When Roger Daltrey sings a song, he brings every time a uniqueness to the vocal delivery that just makes it a masterpiece. Okay, if I was going to have a band and I had to have two singers, I can't just have one, it'd be Daltrey and Paul Rogers. Yeah, can you imagine that? The ProgHat band with those two singers, that'd be totally awesome. But yeah, this song got some, it did get up there on the charts. The song did get played a while. Squeezebox was a regular performed during the 70s, and it makes it an occasional appearance in the later years, I guess, when they do live shows. I still have never seen the Who, folks. I know what kind of Who fan I am. Please don't take away my membership card and rip it up. Because in my heart, I'm a Who fan. I spoke about Dreaming from the Waist. Man, did I speak about it? Yeah, I did. But the album closes with Imagine a Man. Just beautiful song. Imagine a Man is autobiographical. It's that song that's talking about a little bit about, like, is he getting too, does Townsend feel like he's getting too all rock and roll? I say, excuse me what I'm about to say, I say, hell no. Keep rocking, my friend. Keep putting out those great songs, even when that real sitting in that rocking chair. Crank them out. So, and I just love the way that album closes. If that was just the 5 songs of the album, I'm cool. But it doesn't stop there. There's a side too. Imagine a Man was never a stage song until 2019, when it made a surprise but welcome appearance during the Who Moving On tour. Oh man, I need to track some of these. I don't have a lot of these later Who stuff. Like, I still don't have the Live at 1968 Fillmore, and I haven't got that newer one. I think is it Hyde Park or Wembley? I forget, folks. I didn't write that down, but I'm really hoping to get those later Who things. Even though, you know, even though some might don't want to get every Who thing, I do. I want to have every Who thing. Daltrey's vocals accompanied by the acoustic guitar and a hint of piano is one of the best of the one of the band's most sublime moments on the record. I agree with that. Totally. I totally agree with it. The album kicks off with Success Story, another great rocker from, rest in peace, legend John Entwistle. Yes, and I'm going to tell you right now, go listen to his album, Smash Your Head Against the Wall. Love that album. Love his version of Cinnamon Girl by Neil Young. That's a good record. But Entwistle writing contribution to the album attempts to lighten the mood, although even here there is a what do you call it? I can't think of the word. Charismatic in the tale, as the book says, something like that. Correct me on that, folks. I didn't mean to get off, but you know what? I'll tell you what I love about this song too. I love the way that John Entwistle brought back that voice from the Boris the Spider. You know, when he says that part about "I am your fairy manager, you shall play the Carnegie Hall." I love that part. It reminds me of Boris the Spider, and it fits right in there perfectly. He does a great vocal job on his songs, folks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to apologize. I'm just so enthusiastic to be sharing this video. I didn't mean to get this long. I was trying to stay focused, but I love this record. They Are All in Love. Very underrated song. I agree with that. That song is with a hint of sarcasm. That is Townsend's takes on the pressures of fame and fortune. It opens with Hopkins' elegant piano playing. There you go. I mean, the guy's awesome, genius, what he brings. I could see why he was sought after to play on folks, because he brings something that makes the songs magical. And I love that the way this song flows into the next song, which I think is a very good song, Blue, Red, and Gray. And I think if you get the CD version of it, there's a really good job of it, the way that song fades right into it. It's like two songs put together. And that is Blue, Red, and Gray. The song was done at Pete Townsend's home studio. He had recorded it. It's an optimistic song, and I agree with that. And, you know, one of the best lines in that song, and I agree with it, with what the book says. I love that line. I like every minute of the day. Folks, you could reflect on that once in a while. During your day, what you like about the day, how it's going, whether it's good or bad, and being thankful. I try to keep me what I call a thank you journey, and when something comes to me on a day that I'm thankful for, I write it back because I want to go back and reflect on it. The song is melodic, trying to say metal, I guess, melodic, and like I said, Townsend didn't want that song on the record. I'm glad that producers get their way, and I'm glad the song is on the record. We're 2 songs away from the finishing of this great album. How Many Friends? I love that song. I really can resonate with that. Just a really great song, and you can really identify. That's a way, and I think there's a lot of ways that we could relate to these kind of songs, that we could say, you know what, in some way I've been there. Daltrey rises to the occasion, sounding plaintive during the verses and positively triumphant for the more memorable, excuse the way I'm saying stuff, folks, choral hook. And this was one of Keith Moon's favorite tunes on the record. He simply loved this song, and he does some really cool key things on his drumming for this song. In Hand of Face, and I must confess, I still don't get this song lyrically, but the music is so good. It was called Round and Round, and it has like this cynical observation. But I'll tell you one point, at the part during, during like 1 minute and the 57 seconds into that song, like under 2 minutes, there is a killer bass solo, and Moon does some of his great drumming on this track too. What an song to end the album. Let's see here. The book says the raising choral section, I'm going round and round, when he says that provides the song's coda, harkens back to I Can See for Miles. I got to end it right there, folks. I did not know I was going to make such a long video here. I hope you will enjoy this. This is my review on an album that has 10 of the best rock and roll songs recorded in music history. I encourage you, go listen to it and really listen to it. Kick back with something, your favorite drink, turn on a candle, lower the lights a little bit, and just, sit back and listen to one of the Who's best records, in my opinion. And I hope we get a big, extensive box set of this one too. Anyway, folks, I want to say thank y'all all for y'all support out there, And for those who subscribe to my channel, I really do appreciate it. Maybe the next time you might see me with a Who by Numbers t-shirt. You just never know what tomorrow may bring. But anyway, I hope you have a great Sunday and a great rest of the week. Hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know, do you like this album? Leave me a thumbs down. You don't like this album? Or you want to tell me, you know, hey, in a nice way, you're full of BS? In a nice way. I only got one hurt feeling left. Just kidding, folks. Take care, and we'll see you on my next video.